much for your time.
Thank you for having me. This is great. I've just stepped out of the conference,
Yes.
and I had to say what we were talking about, and a very important topic that's been going on right now is actually one of the most important that I think should be addressed all the time: how community radio survives. Without community radio, we do not have the opportunity to reach people in the grassroots. And I was coming here and I was thinking, wow, as far as I'm concerned, as the convener for this particular event, this thing we're talking about here regarding community radio is one of the best sessions that we can address ever. But I'm here, and I'm glad to be joining your session. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for bringing that up. Community radio, the importance thereof. But I want to encompass the entire convening and perhaps get your thoughts, Mr. Pius, as to why it is so important for the different regions or the different countries to come together and talk about broadcasting and talk about collaboration and talk about the shared challenges.
So, as Broadcast Media Africa, as you know, we are the convener of this particular convention. Now, we've been doing this for 7 years now. This is the 7th edition. Then the question is, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Because as the CEO of the company, I asked the team the importance of radio in our society cannot be overestimated.
Yeah.
Radio is the medium that you go to. And without radio, my folks in the village, your folks in the village, everybody in town will not get the information, will not get the entertainment. Not everybody can subscribe to pay TV and what you have. So to your question about why and wherefore, the collaboration is now important because what we've done is we've brought together the most important executives that are driving radio from Malawi to Nigeria to Lesotho and of course the great country of South Africa. We brought everybody together to come and discuss, yes, how do you get stations to collaborate, to share content, so that when a 5FM develop a content somewhere in Johannesburg, if there's a 5FM in Johannesburg, I'm not saying there is, I'm just using this as an example. A Channels FM in, for example, Accra, can take that same content because at the end of the day, we speak the same language. We might speak in a different accent or different intonation, but radio cuts across. You can share the content, and what you guys at Channel Africa are doing is fantastic because you are Pan-African and you speak to the different jurisdictions across the continent. So this kind of collaboration is what we foster. It's why we are here. It's why we are able to bring the executive here to come and talk about their challenges and how they are resolving it in their different stations across Africa.
Right. You mentioned, you raised something important in your example around community radio. I want to get your thoughts on sustainability, especially for community radio, because that's what keeps communities alive. That's how people get an understanding of developments that are happening in their particular communities. How do we then walk away from these types of gatherings and go in and make our platform sustainable for job creation, to also remain relevant, to upskill ourselves with artificial intelligence and all the other innovations that come in?
Yeah, you mentioned the big one, artificial intelligence, AI. Yesterday we've been discussing the issue of AI, and your question or your point is how do radio generally, and more specifically community radio, how are they sustainable? Now, I just said I was coming and there was I think there's this session on community radio and whatnot, and the gentleman that was representing the Community Radio Association of South Africa said in his own area, the community radio have actually started looking at other ways in which they can generate revenue and sustain themselves. And I was struck to hear that community radios are now into the business of opening up restaurants and also doing bookshops. But these are things that people are thinking outside the box. Now, as an industry, we need to do a lot to enable and foster both, not just the community radio, even the commercial ones, the public, the private, and also the guys that are coming with new systems and new technology, the guys that are doing podcasting, as you might have known. Bottom line is we are all in the same space of creating audio and delivering this audio to our audiences. And the important thing is it's different because this is the only way that people at times can get information, they can get entertainment, and they can be communicated to audio, radio. This is why I thought without this medium, if we don't support it, then we will be missing out, and we will be doing a disservice to our audiences and to our communities and to our society. And that's why it's so important that every year we bring together these executives into a room for them to talk about their challenges, what they are facing, and more importantly, my lady, how they are resolving it. And if we are able to do that between yesterday and today, then I can go back and I say, yes, guys, our job is done. Let's do it again next year. Because radio is so important, as you know, because you work in one.
I work on a radio. Okay, I work on the radio. I've been doing it for almost 20 years. Mr. Pius, thank you very much for this convening. I think 7 years in, I mean, it is fast becoming a great space for peer review as well, for executives to look at what they're doing right, where they can fix and where they can really make the medium progressive, because we would hate for radio to die. Okay?
No,
radio is not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere, at least not anytime soon. No. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, and you're awesome.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Benjamin Pius, Chief Executive Officer of Broadcasting Media Africa.
Madapiri, Bazoshitika.